let's actually go ahead and chat to. Hey there, heroes! My name is Hero Girl. I'm your friendly local neighborhood hero tuber, and I'm here to let you know that if I can do it, so can you. We've got audio levels, mic levels, gamer levels, gamer fuel, a chair that seems a little tall. Let me just oh, I don't want to throw the chair away. It's a perfectly good chair. Perfect. Yeah, about as perfect as you can get it. Anyway, so it's Magic Monday. We're back again. And about time too, because this time I've got a brew. That's what we do every time. We're brewing, we're playing Brawl. And this time it's going to be Breya Etherium Shaper. Chair too tall? You would never. Ron, did you swap my chair out with something that's taller? Something that's a little more ergonomic, something that's actually better for my back, but only if I actually sit like a normal person. So yeah, Breya Etherium Shaper. If you've been around in the Commander Sphere for a while, then I don't think she really needs an introduction. She was the face commander when WotC came out with the first iteration of 4-color commanders. This is everything but green. You'd say you would never have snuck into where you live without saying hi. That's true. That's true. You would have at least said hi. You'd have been like, hey. And I would have been like, Fran, what are you doing across the border? Do you need smuggling? Are you in refugee status? But no, Breya doesn't need any introductions. Comes to the play, she makes 2 Thopters. And then she has a very, very flexible ability where it's pay 2, sack 2 artifacts. You can either deal 3 damage to a target player or planeswalker, give target creature -4/-4 until end of turn, or you can gain 5 life. She is a proverbial Swiss Army knife. And I'm going to be real, I remember the -4/-4, and I remember gaining life. I almost always forget that she can just fireball people out of existence. There's been a lot of games that are close, and I keep forgetting that I can just cash in all my artifacts to go daka and end things. So if that happens again today, that's entirely on me not being as familiar with the card as I want to be. Notably, she can also sacrifice herself, which can be relevant if you're going to reset her, recast her from the command zone. That does get incredibly taxing, though. It's really more of a last resort or a, well, if they're going to source the plow her anyway, I might as well get some value. Forget the burn ability, but that's how you win. Yeah. For real, I have a Breya, but I have never actually played a Breya deck before she came out to Arena. So this is partially new to me as well. Hell in the box. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you have a good lurk. I hope you have some good comfy vibes today. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. This is what I've built the deck around. I've built the deck around Simulacrum Synthesizer. This is a card that I have built around before, but also not really. Rather, this is a card that I stuck into my Lagrella Blink deck, and I liked it quite a bit there. This time, I decided to bring it in and make it the core focus of the deck. And so we have a plethora of the 3+ artifacts that are just really good. Scrap Trawler, Relic of Legends, to take advantage of the fact that we're playing a lot of legends that just have good synergy with artifacts, including Oswald Fiddlebender, who can help tutor for Simulacrum Synthesizer. We've also got Goblin Engineer and Trophy Mage, which can grab our synthesizer. We do not, in fact, have the City Fair. I have the City Fair, but the lands are really, really bare bones. Yes, we are running 8 basics because you have to run basics in a meta that has Blood Moon. When you have all the fetch lands available, there's just no reason for you not to. We are running all of the tri-lands that we can, so we are running Ralgrin Triome, Savai, Xander's, Refine's Tower. We're running all the fetch lands, we're running all the shocks, and we're running all of the artifact bridges. The bridges are artifacts, so we can cash them into Breya later if we want to. They're also indestructible lands, which is really good. Really sucks if Karn the Great Creator comes down and shuts down all the artifacts. I got matched up against a Vraska deck the other day that ran Karn the Great Creator on turn 3, and I kind of looked at my board and went, well, my deck does absolutely nothing now. And we still almost pulled it out. They ended up taking over because they had the One Ring, and the One Ring is a ridiculous draw engine. But, like, we're also running the One Ring, so they drew their ring before we drew our ring. It happens. Can't really be too mad about that. On that note, though, so we are running the One Ring primarily as card draw removal. We can sacrifice the ring to Breya to get life back, to keep it from getting too ridiculous. We do have the One Ring protection loop, where we have the One Ring, we have Surgical Metamorph and Phyrexia Metamorph. And then we also have Emery, Lurker of the Lock. So as long as Emery is out, we can go ahead and keep Legend Ruling the One Ring out of existence and continue to get protection. There was at least one game where I got that loop off. The opponent wasn't having it and they decided to value their time and left, and I respect that. Now that being said, a lot of these copy effects we're running are really just so we can double up on Simulacrum Synthesizer. If Simulacrum Synthesizer falls out, we don't have a lot in terms of backup plans. We are running things like Nettlecyst and Cranial Ram, a lot of those affinity type cards that get stronger when we have more artifacts in play, hence why we're running the artifact lands. We are also running the classic affinity cards, so Myr Enforcer, Fenrir's Hellkite, Frogmire Enforcer, which is one of the newer cards, Thought Monitor. Frogmite is coming to Arena with Bloomburrow. However, I don't know that Frogmite is worth a mythic wildcard at this time. Ideally, we would also be running cards like Padim, who gives all of our artifacts hexproof and lets us draw a card, but I don't have that card in my collection. And with Bloomburrow coming out, I am once again in hoarding mode. I already wanted to use all these mythics to try and get the pitch elementals, but that's going to be a little bit harder since we're so close between sets. And as an aside, next week, because it is our traditional Magic stream before the release on Arena of a new set, I'm actually going to try something else, something new, where I outline some general thoughts. I go through them. We just have a nice, easy chatting stream. Maybe end the stream with some game. Maybe end the stream with some games. But for the most part, it'll just me talking about the past season, talking about some general trends that I observed, and then just having it as like a history piece, I think. Aurora, hey, thank you so much for stopping by. You finally got your cat brawl deck built. It's kicking butt. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. All the kitties. Especially green-white kitties. Those are a lot of kitties. You can also go, I guess, let's see, Roxanne's a cat. I guess you could go Naya Cats if you want. There are some good Naya commanders for cats, specifically. Right. So one of the things you might notice about this deck is that it does not have the Hero Girl mid-range suite of removal. The removal that we are running comes down very, very hard on things that are strictly artifact-based. So if I could just pull those out real quick. Cranial Plating is not removable. Yes, there's Glass Casket. Reflection Net, Aegis. What else is Teleportation. Yeah, the removal is minimum at best. We don't have any sweepers. There's no Thoughtseize. There's no counter magic. It is literally just Reflection Net, Assimilation Aegis, which are basically artifact versions of Banishing Light, and Eccentric, which is a Banishing Priest, but only for creatures mana value 3 or less. There is a Tithing Blade, there's a Glass Casket, Spellbomb for tempo reasons, Portable Hull, and Duskrose Reliquary. These are really testy in terms of removal. They are 1-for-1s, which means that we are looking to get value out of them. We can sack these later for Breya if we use them on like a commander. they put the commander back into command zone, then it's just kind of an artifact that sits around. But more importantly, there are also artifacts that help boost the constructs that we're going to be making. Constructs named for the constructs being made from Karn, Scion of Urza, which is also the same kind of token that gets made with the Urza Saga land enchantment. Notably, the Living Legacy makes Power Stones and will enable these artifacts to also deal damage if we ever get to the point where we can ultimate with the emblem. They also do make the Cranial Ram and the Nemesis stronger. So that's really the main point for making sure that a lot of our removal is artifact based and will stick around. There are some cute loops that you can do with Goblin Engineer and Emery. For example, you can go ahead, sacrifice the Tithing Blade to get anything else out, sack the blade, and then just attrition the opponent that way. However, the biggest concern is that if we do get matched up against a really fast aggro deck or a really resilient aggro deck, that this just isn't going to be enough. We're kind of really counting on being able to 1-for-1 our opponent and control the board until we get the synthesizer set up. The synthesizer, at bare minimum, is a 3-mana scry 2, which is not good. You'd have to be playing Wishing Well at that point. But it goes from 0 to 60 in at least 3.5. Because once it starts spitting out those constructs are coming out and they're at least anywhere between a 3-3 and a 7-7. And when you can get multiple of those out at once, especially when you have a hulking morph or a metamorph copying it, it's such a huge tempo swing. We just have to live long enough to get there. If we're running red, we want to look at Boomtown B6 as a mixed treasure when the equipped creature deals damage to the opponent directly. No, we really don't. We really don't. We want to avoid any sort of Saboteur equipment effects, because they're just a really slow level of ramp. Now, there are thoughts that maybe what we want to include is a Magra, the dwarf. If I could just bring her up real quick. Oh, let's see. Oh, God. Was it Magda? Yeah, it was Magda. Like, you could absolutely look at cards like Magda the Horde Master, because she does help refund a lot of the treasure tokens whenever Breya does her removal. And you can also sacrifice these treasure tokens. We're looking for really low effort stuff to do, and stuff that's really going to help us get to our plan quickly. In previous iterations of this deck, and it's part of what inspired that talk last Monday that I was making. Yeah, what inspired that talk last Monday that I recorded and I'm currently editing to post as a separate video, is that a lot of the really slow synergy cards, so not the land tax, but the Smothering Tithe, a lot of the very slow treasure producers, a lot of the slow token producers, they do help you pay for Breya's effects, but because they're also really slow, it means that the other deck has the opponent has time to stabilize. It means they have time to push through, and at that point you're really in a slow grind fest that just doesn't win at points where the deck should be winning. That land that starts as an enchantment but turns into a white land that creates a construct golem that gets power and toughness equal to the amount of creatures and artifacts you control. We do have that. We do also have the Thousand Moon Smithy. That is absolutely here. It is a legendary artifact. It makes a construct that's actually a gnome, and then it has the ability to just keep pumping out more as you make them. This is here because we do have the additional artifacts to help turn this into a construct producer. So this is absolutely here. One of the other things that you could really look at is more of the extra token producers. Because we are in white, we do get to play Anointed Procession to double our tokens. And there are definitely scenarios where that's going to be a really powerful option. I have opted for Teleportation Circle instead, very specifically because we do have a lot of ETB effect artifacts. Breya herself is ETB artifact. This lets us recycle a lot of those. You could theoretically try putting in more blink targets, maybe something that doubles ETB effects. You could try playing a Panoramicon. You could try playing Elishnor, and Elishnor would probably be a really good glue card in here. But for the most part, this is essentially a skeleton of a deck. And as someone who has traditionally skewed her brews towards mid-range, this is actually really spooky for me. I look at this and I go, there's no Swords to Plowshares, there's no Thoughtseize, there's not even a Wash Away, which has become kind of an auto-include in blue decks. Like, if you're playing blue, there's no reason for you to play Wash Away because it's a 1-mana deny your opponent their commander for a turn. Now, there are other iterations that really want to focus more on the affinity aspect. There are a lot of decks that are running All That Glitters. They also run variations with things like Gear Drake. Gear Drake is another great card that you can try running with this because you try and sacrifice so many artifacts at once. If you want to run something that's heavier on the token side of it, if you want to run artifacts that produce a lot of treasures, that produce a lot of clues, food, stuff like that, I would highly encourage you to go ahead and try that. This just ended up being not the way that I wanted to take this, because again, I am aiming to really make this more of a synthesizer deck. And when you're all in on the constructs and the synthesizer, there's less pressure to try and feed everything directly into Breya. And you end up having this tension of, okay, either I want to sacrifice artifacts to use Breya's effect, or I want to keep all those artifacts around specifically so we can make our constructs bigger. I'm trying to think if there's any other notes. I can't really think of anything, but shout out to one of the other Breya players that I ran into when I was testing the deck, got into the mirror match, and Brass's Tunnel Grinder is actually a really cool card for this. Because we focus so much on the artifact permanents rather than tokens, we could descend a lot more reliably. Moreover, because it is going to give our spells Discover, it's going to give us the ability to catch up on spells a lot more easily. So we're probably going to end up making some adjustments as we go. Hopefully this all works out. I do want to point out that one of the things I really wanted to try and emphasize with this deck was just being able to feed everything into that synthesizer. Like, we have the Goblin Engineer, we have Fiddlebender, and we have Trophy Mage here, which are like 3 different tutors for one very specific card. But then we also have Recommission to go ahead and get this back. Notably, if you're playing multicolored decks, you don't have to settle for worse options. So, for example, you could play Takasia's Welcome because we're making a bunch of tokens. That means that Takasia's Welcome is going to trigger and draws a card. Takasia's Welcome only triggers once per turn, though. And we get so much more utility out of playing something like Call the Rain, and it comes down faster. So, just picking the right things. We do also have a little bit of an Urza Saga package, even though we don't get to play Urza Saga. We're playing Vexing Bauble, Springleaf Drum, Soul Guide Lantern, just to help smooth things out. My only other issue, aside from the lack of sweepers and spell interactivity, is that we're a little light on 1-drops, but if we're constantly going into playing Tri-Land on turn 1, that's less of an issue. So then when we get into like the final 10 minutes, my goal is to wrap things up, go into a thoughts about the deck. Because now that we're actually streaming on YouTube and I don't have to edit or port the VODs over, I want to try and make the Magic streams a little more presentable for people who are looking for deck tech, who are looking for actual thoughts on these decks that we've whipped up. And that's just going to take a little practice and repetition to really get into the flow of things. Alright. Frick, Son of Yawgmoth. You hate him, you loathe him. He basically costs only 4 mana the first time you play him. This guy, he tends to be a really heavy combo aggro. Not like a aggro deck, but if you're playing Crick, you're not intending to do fair things. Alright, the opponent's on the play. They can Thoughtseize us. And this is not a good hand for us to hold on to. Like, we have a Genius Smith on turn 2, but then we kind of bottom out. This should be a little bit better. We've got multiple reducers. We got Springleaf Drum if any of our creatures stick around. We have card to build up to, plus early interaction. We only have 2 colors, though. So... Oh, wait. Ugh. If this Dark Citadel was white, if this tapped for white and any other color, this would be a snap keep. But... I can actually go down harder. Okay, this is much better. This is much better. We have Echo Wellspring, we have Saheeli. We've also got Vexing Bauble, which will shut down a lot of stuff. Keep the 6. Throwback. Probably the metal. Alright, that's good news for us. Vexing Bauble is going to be really, really hard for them to fight through if they're aiming for anything on the combo spectrum. Mana down. I don't trust them to not just have straight up removal. So let's at least double spell. If they have removal for Emery, that's whatever. Doesn't look like it. We can get Agatha's Salt Cauldron next turn. That's pretty good. Okay. Yeah, cast Soul Cauldron. Alright, last turn. This way, we can stop any sort of reanimation shenanigans they might be planning if they want to go Troll Cycle, reanimate. Ooh, they're going to pay the full 6. That's nuts. Currently at 4 for the full value. Oh, they're going to go Cavalier. That's... Yep, Cavalier... Attack another creature. When you do strike target creature, we're going to lose Emery. That's fine. Getting Agatha's... Plus, we knew they were going to grab something. Command Tower. That's perfect. Alright, so we play the Command Tower. We can go Wellspring into Saheeli. We also have the opportunity to play Breya. We play Breya. What are we doing? Nothing spectacular. Just play the Wellspring. Draw. Play Saheeli. Pass. Notably, we can Agatha's to, like, put some... to exile Emery. And then anything that gets a 1/1 counter on it becomes Emery. Same thing with Saheeli. Alright, yep, they're gonna go ahead. They're gonna chunk in. With Saheeli out, though, we can copy the spell bombs. We can start getting some more interaction there. Let's see, I have Recommission, but that's it. Alright, let's go ahead, exile Emery. We'll put it on Saheeli. Yep. Alright, sweet. We have options here. So the real question becomes, what do we want to do? Because we can still cast stuff out of Graveyard with Saheeli. Here's a Scalding Tarn. I think what we do... I'm gonna go crack this now. I don't trust a Grick deck. Ooh, they're thinking. They're thinking. They're doing a big kitty think. And let's go ahead and grab Island. Now we get Breya out. Breya's down. This Frog Enforcer, it is free. Normally I would hold this for the synthesizer specifically, but it is just free. Oh, wait, fuck! It's countered by the Vexing Bauble. Whoops! That is not what I intended to do. But important to remember. Okay, now we also have to remember exactly what we're going to be doing. Yep, that's a Phyrexian Arena. We can Vexing Bobble, end of turn, get rid of the Cavalier. They just don't have a way to, like, interact. Alright, so go ahead, block here. What, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they can just replay the Cavalier. Like, okay, they get their mana. That's fine. Yep, they have their 8. We can drop Call of the Ring next turn as long as they don't Thoughtseize it out of our hand. Target opponent exiles the top X cards of the library face down. You can look at and play those cards as long as they remain exiled. If you cast a spell this way, you may spend mana so that you may have to cast it. Fair enough. And if they hit our Simulacrum Synthesizer, even worse. Let's see. Let's go ahead and... You want to fly a... Right. This is also exile target card, but a creature is exiled this way. Okay. Let's go ahead and... I'm going to exile this Forcer, actually. I'm going to put the token on Breya. And then this is draw a card or bounce. Let's just draw a card. This is still... We can't actually cast it. Alright. Now we can start doing some stuff. Alright, then we can draw more cards. More cards equals more good. Go ahead, play Call of the Ring. I don't know what we're doing right now. I guess we could theoretically, like, exile the Cavalier. I might have messed up the sequencing on that. No attacks. Pass turn. Double checking. This is what? We can cast artifacts. Let's see. In terms of like just having a bunch of cards, that they are way ahead of us. Like, we have a good setup. The Cavalier of the Night just makes this really awkward, right? Yeah, I guess that does just kind of make it awkward. Although the Soul Cauldron, I guess, can start pumping up Thopters. We probably just sacrifice the Wellspring and the Thopter if anything happens to the Cavalier. We just threw 3 lands in a row, so like we're gonna be set on lands, but this is not what we want to be doing. And if our synthesizer was anywhere in that top 6, we are in danger. Now, fortunately for us, we're not really... We know they're not really going to have like any powerful removal. Teleportation Circle would be a really bad one for us to get. Okay, so they are just going to go ahead and destroy all creatures melee. Well, if that's going to be the case, let's go ahead and what? Just gain 4 life, deal 3 damage. Probably just... Oh, wait, hold on. They're just going to get the Cavalier back. Boo. Let's let's go ahead and gain 3 life. Sack the Ichor, sack the token. Yep. And... oh, they aren't getting back the Cavalier. Okay. Well, we drew a Hulky Metamorph. Not bad. We can recast Breya. That's similarly not bad. We can recast the Healy. Refurbished Familiar. That is one of my cards. We can go ahead and drop this fetch land. Sign in Blood. Yep. Doing all right so far. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of Cavalier right now while they're tapped out. Hey, Thousand Moons Smithy. That's pretty pog for us right now. That's what the kids these days say, right? Pog. And then... yeah, we just passed the turn. They have all the draw effects, so like, again, they're still way ahead of us. Any sort of 1-for-1 removal is really bad for us. But having the Thousand Moon Smithy here... Thoughtseize. Rude. At least Call of the Rain is going to keep progressing until such a time that we can do this. And also, this is what? 5 creatures and or artifacts. You pre-combat, tap 5, untapped. Alright, there's Crick. Whenever you cast a black spell, he gets a 1/1 counter, so that happens even if... but we can Agatha's Soul. We can Agatha's Soul, eat the Saheeli. Put that on the gnome. And this is... hold on, this is... oh, and they have Phyrexian Obliterator. Let's see, I have an upkeep stop. Let's see... beginning of pre-combat main phase. Okay, understood. Yep, we go ahead, we take 2. They didn't do anything, so let's go ahead and... yeah, my turn. Alright, so let's go ahead and... notably, we only get to keep 1. Choose the legend permanent you wish to keep. Go ahead and pump up this one. Now we can start paying. Now we can start clawing our way through. Right? The Veins Reclamation. To main. To main. Alright, so we don't get anything just yet. The Aether Spellbomb is actually really important here. Then we can bounce the Obliterator. The Obliterator doesn't just, like, eat through us. Yeah. Go ahead, play the Ingenious Smith first. Ooh, hello. Cloud Key, Converter, Metamorph. And then... crack this. We're gonna find a swamp. I'm grabbing as many basics as I can, because the second that they drop Winter Moon, I am fucked. Oh, wait, no, hold on. God damn it! That's not what I forgot about the stupid... I meant to do Reclamation here, so... whoops. That's my bad. I meant to play Reclamation, get the Spell Bomb. That would put a counter on Ingenious Smith anyway. So, yeah. It is what it is. I mean, mana is no longer the sinkhole for them, so I just don't want to get domed for 5. That's 2 misplays, but honestly, we're doing okay. Gix's command. Destroy each creature power 2 or less. Don't have any there, so again... what's the other mode selected? Each opponent sacrifices a creature with the highest power among creatures they control. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and grab out probably the Metamorph, I think. Specifically because we have Reclamation. Yep. So that happened. We no longer have Agatha's Soul Culture protecting us on reanimation. That's Shuldred. We lose our Ingenious Smith. Fine. It's just really, really, really awkward right now. Yep. Our token is exiled as well. And if we lose life, we lose that twice that much life. That's at least 12. Yeah, that's GG's. I don't think our misplay cost us per se, but it's really hard to think otherwise. But like, hey, the deck itself was doing just fine, so I'll take that. Like, we were clawing our way back into that. And even if I did click the Phyrexian Metamorph, I clicked decline because I was like, wait, no, I don't want to cast that, but it was decline as in don't choose something. So, like, if I had just been able to write that out, make another copy of the moon or whatever. Alright, the opponent's going first. We have Tithing Blade, Inspector, Boots. They go turn 1 Tamio. We go turn 1 land. They go turn 2, play a land, attack with Tamio, counter our Tithing Blade, and we're behind forever. Portable Hull makes this much easier. It means that we grab... Let's see, we have 2 blue-white sources, so we need to grab... Oh, this needs to grab a white source, so this can only grab Sacred Foundry. We'll cast the Mox Ember whenever we just have mana open. Or hey, that works.
Oh no! I'm late for class!
Alright, so go ahead, cast the Mox Amber, go ahead, cast the Hole. Exile Tamio. And if we can get this Trophy Mage to resolve, so much the better. Let's see. 2 mana open. That is not ideal for Solar Transformer. Alright. Play the Silver Bluff Bridge, pass the turn. Grab a basic land with the foothills, which means that this always grabs Mountain.
If you need me, I'll be in the library.
Alright, so we have the Trophy Mage. We can go ahead, grab our Synthesizer. Synthesizer... Maybe Synthesizer wasn't the best one. We wanted to go for the Dreadbore. We do have a Trophy Mage, though, and that's an actual clock. That is a 13-turn clock right now. I'll be shocked if they do anything but pass turn here. Color me shocked, apparently. 15! Holy shit! Pay for tap, make a 15-15. Well, they got gumption. So... that's an actual problem. Like, that is an actual factual... How are we gonna beat that? They make a 10-10? We can drop our synthesizer. But that's not gonna do a whole lot. We can go Signet into Transformer. But, goddamn. At least with having multiple mana, we're gonna open ourselves up to being able to double spell. Why are they doing that main phase? There is no reason for them to do that main phase. This does not have a sorcery clause. Exile target artifact or creature. Oh, controls. Understood, understood. Alright, let's go ahead. We'll lead up on the synthesizer. No response. Okay, none of these help. Go ahead. Play Annex. We can't take out the processor, but we can at least take out the token. Then... yeah, I don't know why they went main phase Why are they still going main phase processor? Your guess is as good as mine, chat. Like, the benefit of being able to play out the processor is that you can end of turn pay that ability while holding up counter magic. So, like, if you leave your mana open, you make the opponent have to play around counter spells, and then if they don't do anything, you just make the processor. So I am kind of shaking my head at that one. Alright, so this is... yep. You go ahead, they counter Breya. We currently have 4 mana still, so we can just go ahead, Cranium Ram. Interesting. Let's go combat. Win with everything. They have to block or bounce the token. I can just use Mox Amber plus the Solar Transformer here to pay for Breya. Okay. Enchanted creature, loses all abilities, has base power and toughness 1/1. That's fine. Why are they putting that on that token, though? So right now this is, what, 3? Let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and kill their Tamio. Sacrifice that token, sacrifice a Thopter. They take 3. Oh, I could have sacrificed the portable hole. What's the worst they could do? Rivers Rebuke me? If they Rivers Rebuke me, I want to be able to reuse the portable hole. Like, Rivers Rebuke is the only thing they can do. They have to tap out for that. They do deal 10, but then we replay all of our artifacts. Get to play out Portable Hole again. Get to play Annex Sentry. I don't think the Tamio player has played this has really taken full advantage of their Phyrexian processor. I think the Phyrexian processor is an absolutely sick include. But it's just not what they want me to do. Yeah, we'll go ahead and attempt to cast this Furnace Hellkite. Because they have to respond to this. We'll attempt to equip the Cranium Ram onto the Thopter. Alright. So they do have the ability to go ahead and double this turn. That's fine. And then we can just go ahead and... I'm not going to swing with Breya. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. So we can use... We can deal 6 damage with Breya, as long as something gets through. Eaten by piranhas. Yep. That's still a 14-2. That doesn't keep this from being a really big creature. Yep. Alright, they're tapped out. Gonna block the token. Gonna get in front of that. 13-13. Gonna activate this. 3 damage to their face. Sacrifice. Oh, I guess... Oh, the token isn't a token anymore. Then what else do we want to sacrifice? Probably the... Portable hole, and doesn't really... Notably, I should also be doing this post-combat. Like I'm going to right now, because that just reduces face. I also should have sacrificed the token if that was going to be the case. GG's, Tomio, GG's. Yeah, I messed up. The sequencing ended up not mattering, but in that specific scenario, I should have sacrificed the construct that already had a bunch of damage marked on it. And then I could have sacrificed other stuff. Again, just post-combat. But that part's whatever. But the opponent had a very, very cool idea here. Just not the best executed. Oh, I got packs. Despite not playing at all during Thunder Junction, I'm actually really close to finishing my Mastery Pass. On what? Level 91, and the absolute last level to get a booster pack is 105. There's a mythic reward at 108, which would be nice to get. But as long as I get, like, the 105, I should be fine. I can get there in, like, a week. The Necrobloom. Okay, so the Necrobloom, they're gonna ramp out really, really hard, get a lot of really... They're just gonna go wide with a bunch of tokens. I've also seen the power of the Llama Land and how it just battle cries their entire field and makes it really bad for us. We are in the play. What does that look like? It goes turn 1, grab a Tri-Land. Turn 2, Watery Grave into Solar Transformer. You can potentially get Construct. Go in, Breya, but then they have like 1 swords and we're in trouble while they're still ramping. This isn't bad, I just don't think it's fast enough. This should be a lot better, especially with Agatha's Soul Cauldron acting as removal. So we'll keep that 7. We're on the play, so we do want to play the Esper Sentinel as soon as possible. turn 1 Esper Sentinel. Let's go ahead and grab. Got all of our colors right here. Yeah, I'll go ahead and grab a Goddess Shrine. And then they're gonna go Snowland. We can go Springleaf Drum, tap the Esper Sentinel. I like that. Alright, so play the Springleaf Drum. That lets us double spell into Agatha's Cauldron. And then it's only really going to check on Resolution. So if they try and cast any sort of non-creature spell to proc the Esper Sentinel, we can always give them the ability to, like, not be able to pay. We can also Agatha's Soul Cauldron now. I don't hate that. Oh wait, no, that only works with creatures, right? I am Legubered. Drop a Signet. Drop Thopteryx. Nope. Yep. There's just like no reason for us to do that except to like represent that we do just have it. Let's see. Normally we can also drop Karn next turn and start dropping Power Stones. The sooner we get Karn to 6, the sooner we can actually win the game. His ultimate is really hard to fight through. Ooh, Binding the Old Gods. Yep. Alright, so we get the recommission. They're probably gonna shoot the... They can't shoot the Agatha's Cauldron. So it's gonna be Thopteryx. Okay. End of their turn, I am just gonna go ahead and keep eating their graveyard, though. Okay, Phyrexian Metamorph. What do we have? We have 3, 4, 5 mana available. They might have additional removal for Agatha's, if that's gonna be the case. Then it doesn't really matter.
Phyrexia is spreading. We might require more energy.
Alright, so they do get to search for a land. The Death Touch is kind of weird. And having the extra Power Stones means that we can pay for Breya's effect, like, right away. Hold on, why did they play land and then play Okay, never mind. Alright. Never mind. For some reason I thought they had just... Oh, they're gonna take our Gold Forge Thopter. No, I'm gonna take my Gold Forge Thopter. Ooh, Synthesizer 2. Okay, we're sitting really good right now. We always just plus here. And then go ahead, play Synthesizer. We get the Scry 2, Sevane's Reclamation, and Bridge. Bridge doesn't help us, but Reclamation is really good if they have removal. And then let's go ahead and just... Let's see, because their creature's going to get Death Touch. Yep, make a copy of the Simulacrum. And then we don't need the Paradise. No attacks, pass turn. If they swing at Karn, I am happy to trade a Karn Struct in order to guarantee the emblem. I don't have any lands, right? No. And, like, we have double Synthesizer. Even if they have a... Oh, God. The 6 mana War Crime whatever card. Target 6 different permanents. They can't target both. These are both non-creature artifacts. So, Recommission plus Sevane's Reclamation. They could potentially Thoughtseize those out. I'm just gonna pop Karn. No questions asked. Like, first chance we get. Because Because if we can just turn all of our artifacts into pew-pews... Sugoi. Can't think of any instant speed reanimation that they would have. Reanimation targeting the Gold Forged Thopteryx is interesting. It does keep me from bringing it back to protect my cards. Mostly we just kind of got rid of it so that way we could have a they wouldn't have a flyer to just keep Karn in check. Notably, we could also be using Karn to draw cards, but come on, pew-pews! We can just start wiping their board. We can like start pinning them down. It's great. It's fantastic. I love it. The opponent is either deep in the tank or they are officially roping us. Well, okay, let's go ahead and get that reanimate. Alright, go ahead, get the emblem. Perfect.
Closes in from all sides.
And then we did this correct. So go ahead, play Breya. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? Go ahead, deal 1. That way they can't just like jump out of the way. Let's go ahead and like deal. Can we? Yeah, let's deal like. Oh, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we got plenty. Let's just go ahead and like get Necro Blue. Now the token the emblem does like take a bit. And then they're not going to have anything to attack with. We're just going to go ahead and tap our constructs as well. Go ahead, tap the synthesizer. Go ahead, tappy, tappy, tappy. And then we want to leave, let's see, all of these up. It's 4 mana. Yeah, we just never exile the Necrobloom with Agatha's. Because that just puts it back into the command zone for them. Although we do get to put a +1/+1 counter on stuff. Don't really like have anything that has activated abilities yet, but you know. The Karn emblem is just so good, and it's instant speed too. So if they don't do anything, we can always just like tap everything out. Alright, so we go to combat. Go ahead, we attack for 14. They definitely have just gone straight to roping. Oh, we don't have any creatures left to pay for the Springleaf Drum. Oh no. Okay. Necrobloom is really cool, but it looks like they just... Let's see. We got one of their fetch lands, right? Yeah, we got their Wooded Foothills. I'm trying to justify accidentally exiling my own land, but I can't think of anything. At most, maybe a Deathrite Shaman. GG's Necrobloom, though. GG's. Get the constructs out. We get the car in it. That's ideal. That's ideal. There we go. GG. Let's keep on a-truckin'. Nya. Oh, as a reminder, because Blue Burrow is coming out next Tuesday, make sure that next Monday you have all of your dailies cleared out, because with the start of a new season, there will be new dailies. It didn't happen with Modern Horizon 3 because they weren't going to do a new mastery pass. But like, you know, it's new everything. New everything. Oh, then while I'm thinking about it, I checked with Sona. We are still good for Final Fantasy on Wednesday. And then on Friday, we would be back with Heart Gold. We're going to be doing the radio tower and solidifying our plan against Claire and her Kingdra. And I think that's it. Right now, and tentatively, next Friday, not this upcoming Friday, but next Friday, I think we have something planned with Claire Fluffle and her girlfriend. Xenagos, God of Revels. This is a stupid, stupid, fast, and aggressive deck. It's going to be really hard for us to actually keep up with, partly because we just struggle with anything that gets really big and really fast. We do have the assimilation Aegis here, but we don't have any white. We're also on the play, so that does help. Glass Casket is good here. We have the Aether Spellbomb to go for a redraw. This is rough though. If we can like get into blue, we're good. I can try holding onto this for just the tempo. We have Glass Casket to like grab any mana dorks. We have Spellbomb to put back any of the really big creatures to potentially time walk them. The chance of us drawing a blue land is pretty good if we get into a fetch. And we have Psy for lots of tokens. I'll hold on to this, but I'm hedgy. I am really, really hedgy. We're gonna need to get Trophy Mage and Psy down like ASAP. It's entirely possible that I'm supposed to fish further down into 6. But having the Trophy Mage here to get the big solemn bots really, really means that if we can find that blue source, we are okay. Call the Ring. Go ahead and drop that now. I will play the Spellbomb and then instantly redraw next turn if I need to. Cold Steel Heart. It's not quite what I wanted, but it works. And as long as it works, we're good. Because now we can go straight into Trophy Mage, grab the synthesizers to help dig for additional lands. Somberwild Sage, never mind, that has to be dealt with immediately. I would love to play Psy right now, but unfortunately, at least this way, if we hit creatures, Springleaf Drum can help us ramp. Like, we can actually go ahead, drop Trophy Mage, tap it for mana, play the Spellbomb, or even play Psy, play the Spellbomb to start making blockers. Kind of like that, actually. Ooh, Refurbished Familiar. That helps. Okay, so yes. Alright, well, we're in Simulacrum territory. We have to drop the Trophy Mage next turn no matter what. Getting Psy down is just like one of the big things to getting blockers. Because these little tokens, they're going to give their lives to protect our life total. Except for the fact that Goreclaw is out now. Gains Trample into end of turn. We need 6 mana. We've got 4. Yeah, that's a big one. We can Spellbomb whatever they target at least. Okay. Now we're hitting extra lands. So let's think. What do we need to accomplish this turn? We need to play the Trophy Mage. And we can use the Spellbomb to bounce whatever. We have 3, 4. We only have 4 mana. So playing Breya. this turn. Sets us up better against the Goreclaw. Can play Breya, get her against the Goreclaw, also be able to sacrifice the Spell Bomb and bounce. If we get the Trophy Mage, though, we can just start pumping things out that are too big for them to go through. I think that's what we need. Yeah. So, go ahead, play the Trophy Mage, grab the Synthesizer. And then we don't need 2 mana, so play the Triome. And then next turn, we're off to the races. Synthesizer into Familiar into Hellkite. It's gonna be really tight, but I think we can weather this. Ooh! Enters the battlefield. Trample and haste until end of turn. Fight target creature you don't control. And turns Xenagod into a creature. Trample and haste. Okay. Notably, it has pay 4 discard, so they can go ahead and destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment. Oh, they're just going to cast Thrun. Can't be the target of non-green spells your opponents control from non-green sources. Okay. So this is the point where we can actually go ahead. Let's go ahead and bounce Xenagos then. Yeah. And we'll tap side. Okay. So Thrun's down. Everything, that's gonna be 13 damage exactly. This is now currently, what is this, 13 minus 11, ow. Block with the Trophy Mage. Down to 1, we cannot draw a Call of the Ring anymore. Alright. Today's the day. Hold on. So we need double red. That's black. Red off the Springleaf Drum. Metamorph is huge. Construct, a little less so. Okay. But hey, if it works! Each opponent discards a card. For each opponent who can't, I draw a card. And then we probably just tap a token because the token can't block. I'll block with Psy if I need to. Okay. Yep. Pay the 2. No attacks. Pass turn. Alright, we got a pair of 13/13s. That helps, I guess. Alright, moment of truth. It's a rag! Oh, no! Ah, why? Becomes blocked. Untap each creature you control. After this combat, there is an additional combat step. Is there a way for us to get out of this? Indestructible, trample, can't be the target of non-green spells. Oh god, and then they attack with trample and everything's... This is, I think this is GG. Yeah... I think this is GG. So no matter what, I have to trade here. And then... This gives every creature trample, which means that if I block the 13/13 on the 5/5. More damage gets through. Also, everything's significantly smaller. Yeah, we did a really damn good job. Goreclaw. I needed to be able to deal with Goreclaw a lot sooner. Okay. So this is currently what? 4. Yeah, there's just no way for us to do this. We can block there. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. This doesn't work. No, you got it. We came damn close, but not drawing the lands killed us. If we'd managed to see a land that would have given us just a little bit more time to set up, would have been just a little bit faster. But the hand was good. The hand was good. Aurora, Vtuber Aurora. Holy shit, this Cap Brawl deck, you made us won 4 to 5 games. When you lost, you totally could have won, but you made a bad choice the last turn that determined if you won or lost. You had 512 plus 1 tokens on one of your creatures, which is funny. That is incredibly funny. That do be cat token stuff. Ugh. Sometimes you just like have a deck and you tear through. At some point, the matchmaking algorithm is going to pair you against the higher elo players, especially if you go on a winning streak. So do be prepared to face a lot of those higher tier decks. When you transfer counters with Oslo, the counts as being placed, so you have doubling that doubles the tokens. Yeah, yep, that's exactly how it works. Okay, Haste of the Ghost Council makes a bunch of tokens, and she self-flickers to make more tokens, and then makes them even stronger. How is this? How is this a fair card? We're playing removal, we have ramp. For some reason, they're playing deserts. We've got Mephik Draw to draw us a card, Portable Hold to slow things down just a little bit. You didn't think Oslo worked that way since the wording and everything in Yu-Gi-Oh! When others said transfers counters, you think it didn't trigger? Magic is not Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic is not Yu-Gi-Oh! Things do not work the way that you think they do. Alright, it's 1 mana. We can play Breya. Let's see. Reflection Net has Flash. Is there any reason for us to not play Breya? Let's go ahead and play the Draught. Play the draw a card. And then next turn we're likely holding up the Flash. Yeah, we want to hold the Flash on the net to try and slow him down. You can grab a tap lane with Arid Mesa, so pass the turn there. And then we can play Breya free. Right. We're not in any hurry right now. Let's see. We don't need to grab any of our shocks. There are 2 land deck. There are 2 color decks that are not likely to go ahead and play that on blue. So let's grab a red land that doesn't. Um, and then, like I said, we are holding up the flash, so Mistvault Bridge, pass the turn. Ugh. Okay, so they go ahead, they tap out for Teysa. We Reflection Net. No! When Rescued Chimwanga enters the battlefield, it may return another permanent you control to its owner's hand. Why? Why, though? Teysa's an 05, so she's like just too thick for Breya. Oh, there's Simulacrum Synthesizer, currently at 5 mana? Yep, so we can go ahead and play Synthesizer. That's fine. Alright, now we can describe. There's a bridge, there's a metamorph. I am not as interested in the bridge as I am the metamorph. Go ahead, pass the turn. They have like a disenchant for the synthesizer. If they do, we have recommission, so we're fine there. Original 3 mana Teysa's busted. She's got nothing on Teysa the Ghost Council. Alright, our turn, I guess. This currently costs 4. Maybe I needed that land after all. Well, we'll go ahead and drop the metamorph. Which means that we get to dig some more for an additional land. Relic of the Legends helps out. Yeah, 5, 6. We've got enough stuff to do that I'll take that land now. And now we have double synthesizer, so unless they have Farewell, that would be a reason not to, like, overstack things. This does mean that we don't get to hit Teysa, but, you know, it is what it is. Yep, okay, there's Teysa now. Teysa gets to come down. We'll deal with Teysa at the end of the next turn. The important thing is that we have a body on board. Yep, Teysa's going to exile. Goes away. That's fine. That's whatever. Okay, here's an... She comes back at the beginning of the next upkeep, right? You gave your end step. Beginning of your next upkeep. Alright, so let's go ahead and... Okay, we play our commander. We get to make a lot more tokens. And, like, just absolutely turbo the hell out of this. They go ahead, they chump block, doesn't matter. Teysa 3. This is like Teysa 4. Oh, they're just taking the 11? Why do they value small creatures so much? Radiant Smite. Destroy target creature power 4 or greater. If you weren't the starting player, you gain 4 life. Hero was the starting player, so they do gain 4 life. Yeah, that's fine. I mean... yeah. I'm gonna put a stop at their end step. Very specifically, so that way we can get Teysa without them having a chance to recast her. The alternative is going to be if they tap out. Borrowed time. Sure. That can get rid of one synthesizer. They're going after the tokens? I mean, I guess that makes sense, but like, why? I'm confused. Okay, now they can go ahead and sacrifice it to get rid of the original. I don't have anything for that, so... Let's go ahead and get some extra value while we can. In response, play the Reflection Net. We're gonna get 2 more tokens before this gets exiled. Here we go. They are 10/10s right now. They would only get bigger. This is true. This is true. But, like, the borrow time to get rid of a token seems like such a temporary measure when synthesizers are just going to keep spitting more of these out. So, like, okay, they got rid of the original. That is relevant. That is a very relevant thing right now. It's a 1/1. Honestly, I'll go ahead and trade. They don't have anything that can like block them and make these not big. All right, so Relic of Legends, 1, 2, 3. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not enough. Okay, and they're just done. GG's, Teysa. GG's. Yeah, no. See, this is kind of what I meant last week when I was talking about doing things that aren't consistent or powerful. Or, yeah, consistently powerful. I really don't know why they have Chewinga here. This is probably a budget option. As is the Forlorn Flats. It's kind of... Yeah, if they're playing things like Scoured Parns, Forlorn Flats, or anything, then this feels like a very budget deck, which I can't really fault them on too much. Actually, come to think of it, I didn't see any rares except for Teysa. Okay. It's entirely possible that they're a newer player who is trying to get into Arena, or trying to build a deck that their pool didn't have support for. Unfortunately, things like Chewinga, Clarion Spirit are on the lower end in terms of power level. With Teysa, she just makes stuff on her own. So as long as you include a lot of protection for her, and then a lot of removal, a lot of wrath, a lot of point removal, maybe some draw engines, she'll just take over the game on her own. The opponent didn't really do anything to keep us from being able to set up fast enough. So, yeah. Vanishing Light, take out the synthesizer. I think if their intent is to use the borrow time to get rid of as food for the Rite of Oblivion, then yeah, okay, that makes a lot more sense. And then they can just use the Oblivion again on the next turn to get rid of the second one. And at that point, you have successfully dealt with the synthesizer. But we got a disgusting amount of value from the constructs. So, okay, I see the logic behind that play now. How about one more game, and then we'll take a quick break before we continue the rest of the stream? Sounds good? Sounds good? Okay. I was playing against a Nadu deck last night, and the pilot clearly did not know how to take full advantage of Nadu because they did not play the enchantment that they had in their hand that just would have made Nadu go burn. This is gonna be a rough one. Tezzeret, Master of the Bridge. This is a card that I would love to be able to put into Breya and might actually have to craft. Because it's +2, deals X damage to each opponent, and you gain X life for X's number of artifacts you control. So, and then also regrows artifacts. Like, this is just a great utility card for artifacts. And this one is going to try and go really, really wide. We do have Reflection Net, Assimilation Aegis, Recommission. This exiles creatures. This exiles creatures as well. They are going to have some artifact creatures, but I don't know. This doesn't feel like it actually does enough. So let's go ahead and fish for something better. Thousand Moonsmith is really hard for them to deal with. Assuming we get it to resolve. Pass the turn. We've got 3 ETB tap lands. And Cloud Key. Oh gosh, we don't have any blue. That's gonna be a problem. Go ahead. She's got the Mox Amber now. Rusco, Clockmaker. Hey, buddy, what's up? Well, Annex Sentry doesn't hit that anymore. We could metamorph and make our own Clockmaker. That's kind of hot. There we go. Dueling Clockmakers. Let's see. This is whenever you cast a non-creature permanent. This hits artifacts, notably, so we can actually get rid of their clock. And now that Mox Amber is out with a Rusco... Oh, he's offering the trade! That's spicy. What? Let's see. I'm honestly kind of tempted to take them the trade here. We take the trade. We lose a creature. We can get rid of their midnight clock. I'll take that. Oh, wait, but I lose out on the Mox Amber if I do. So that is noteworthy. That is very, very noteworthy. All right, so right now we're at 3, 4, 5 if I Sacred Bridge. Yeah. All right. Here's Cloud Key. Name Artifact. Here's Sentry. Get rid of Clock. Springleaf Drum. They can still play Tezzeret, though. They have more than enough. Hold on. 1, 2... Ooh! Exile our Clock. Now they have a 6/6. Alright, how do we want to do this? May review this card. Okay. And they can dig back any of their artifacts. That's also not ideal, but I understand. 4, 5, potentially 6. 4, 5, 6. If we play Breya, we get 2 additional mana. I think it's better to play the Moonsmithy right now. Dedicated Dollmaker makes a token copy of something you control that becomes an artifact. That is true. That is also not something we need to do because everything we have is already an artifact. We do use Thousand Moon to just tap it, right? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we just play Breya. Oh, are they stuck on colors? They have 1. This is on black. Yeah, they don't have a lot of colors. They do have colors, though. But without that Midnight Clock, they're going to be stuck for trying to refresh their hand. We have Karn here, who can start making Power Stones. If we get... Oh, Noxious Gearhulk. That is spooky. They might want to just consider destroying the Sentry just to get their Midnight Clock back, though. Because if they get their Midnight Clock on, then that's actually really good for them. Oh, they are. They're going to go for the Sentry. Damn. Alright, then. Well, here's a Spell Bomb for us. Okay. Let's go ahead and go 1, 2... 3, see. Do we dare tap everything? We've only got one source of blue right now. So let's do it. Let us hold up the Mox Amber. Spell Bomb. Alright, pass the turn. We don't use the Spell Bomb to actually bounce their creatures. That's bad for us. Devourer and Noxious Gearhulk are gonna wail on us, though. So this is really more of a... We can go ahead, use Breya. Ooh, I see. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead. We'll jump with a token. Breya's gonna have to, like, neg to get the Gearhulk out. Yep, there's Iron Crag. They currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Tezzeret +2 deals 7 damage to us. 7 damage. That is a lot. So, how do we want to handle this? See, this is whenever you cast an artifact or creature spell using mana produced by Barrack, they make a token. We just need to move the Gearhulk. That's all we need to do. So, go ahead. Use a spell bomb, bounce the Gearhulk. Token wipes out Tezzeret. They play the Gearhulk, they wipe out Breya. Devourer of Destiny is an issue. Let's go ahead and do that anyway. Because, like, we just can't let Tezzeret get down there. Ooh, exile target non-land permanent. That's pretty spicy. Now we get another gnome. And we can take out... let's take out the Cold Steel Heart. And then also we can play Karn. We need to get Karn, like, going.
Piece by piece, our victory will come together.
Alright, go to combat.
You telling me it's shrimp fried this rise?
Get rid of Tezzeret.
All you've won is time.
Okay, pass the turn, and we're gonna have to start using Breya to, like... Oh, no, that's not good. They do have the clock back. Them being able to refill their entire hand is really, really, really muy bad for us. Alright, they're just gonna cast Tezzeret again. And I don't have any way to stop that. Alright, there's the Gearhulk. Gearhulk targets the token. Understandable. Very understandable. Let's go ahead and neg 4. Get the Gearhulk. This is going to be destroyed anyway, so we sack that. And then... what? Probably the Springleaf Drum, I think? No, the token. Token. Okay. That worked out. You can block with the Thopter. Yep. Hits us for 5.
You should just concede.
I will not, Tezzy. I will not. That is a land. Land is not what's going to get us there. Alright, so I have to use Breya to, like, heal here, right? Because right now, as is... Yeah, so we can go ahead, make a token here, even start sacrificing the Cloud Key. Okay. I think we always swing. I think we always swing at Tezzeret. Yep, they block. That's fine. Now they can go ahead and get back Noxious Gear Hulk, which is indeed noxious. I think I just play that out. Plus here. Currently, Tezzeret's at 5.
The Thran still have secrets to uncover.
And then we pass. They just need 5 more counters on the midnight clock. We are running on empty here. They got rid of Drown It and Ichor, even though that could have actually helped them ultimate Tezzeret. Alright, so they're gonna go ahead, they're gonna plus. We're gonna go ahead and gain 5 life. Sack the token. Sack Thopter.
This should strike fear into you.
Jin Cataxius, you say? Alright. Yep. They get to make extra copies. They have all the mana in the world, so no matter how much we do it, Tezzeret is just gonna like fucking mow us down. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think... Let's see. I could sacrifice tokens to, like, get Breya down. We're gonna alt card next turn regardless, right? Right. So, I sacrifice Breya. I replay Breya. Whenever an opponent casts an artifact, instant, or sorcery spell, counter that spell. This ability only triggers once each turn. So then... I'm gonna need to my turn Breya alt. Yeah, use Breya. Get this down to neg 4, neg 4. Oh hey, Ingenious Smith. Whenever you cast an artifact, instant, or sorcery spell. Whenever an opponent casts instant or sorcery spell. Alright. Cast that. Use Breya. Actually, hold on. Let's go ahead and tap this for blue. Yeah, tap this for blue. And then, hold on. Do we need that for anything? Undo that. We might... We're only going to need to shoot one thing, right? Right, we only need to shoot one thing. And we need to sacrifice artifacts regardless. And we're going to sacrifice Breya. Yep, so go ahead. Tap that for blue. Activate this. Shoot Jin Cataxius. Tap. Go ahead. Activate. Neg 4, neg 4. Sack Breya. Sack Portable Hole. I don't think we got this because they can just replay Tezzeret and like get us. I think this is actually a fool's errand. Like, we made a good show, but now they just have way too many fucking artifacts for us to actually be able to do anything. goes. Now I can go ahead. Gets up to 8. They just replay Tezzeret. Yeah, that's GG's. It didn't matter. Nothing really matters to me. Alright, let's go ahead. We'll be right back. Don't touch that dial. So, I am low-key concerned.
Today on Animal Fact Files, we're discussing giant siphonophores. This episode was a request.
Oh my god!
Giant siphonophores have earned their common name.
Oh my god, the fucking cat jump scared me! Ah, so many powers! So much creativity. It is my mind, it overflows. My mind overflows. It becometh. The only reasonable thing that we can do is just 4 dodge, 3 dodge, 2 dodge. Fucking go for it. Holy shit! Holy shit! Touchdown! Touchdown, Brody man! Holy shit! Oh my god! That's a touchdown! And chat, if you're just hanging around, don't let this man terrorize you. Don't let this man terrorize you. Stand up. Wait, no, Okay, so I was kind of right. It's like right there. Now, notably, there are no hooks for me to actually grab, but... Terrorize? Hey, yo, Jess, you've been on the Transformers kick. I would have thought that you would actually be all about terrorizing, but with, you know, Megatron having dinosaur dragon parts. Cleanse are a gift? Then where's the receipt? Yeah, Beast Wars really is the best show.
I also have a YouTube channel, but I don't use that at all. So, mostly just Twitch.
All right. And then come on. You're the last one in. You're the last one out.
Jesus.
Oh my god,
Very
that's
I had
eventful.
liquid in my mouth. Anyways, once again, Kyria Nebrius. You can find me twitch.tv/Kyria Nebrius, KIR.
And why is he moving back like that? I mean, if he has a Skull Knight, then like, yeah, we actually just lose. Well. Alright, then we'll go ahead and we'll swing in. We're not gonna be blocking the Scarab. Oh! Oh! Oh, they didn't have the mana to pay for Pact! Oh my! Well, that's not exactly how, we were hoping to win that, but... Oh my, okay. Okay. Okay then. So then we've got... Wait, hold on. So anything up there? Potentially. Oh yeah, dance, 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 dance. Boom, 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 boom.
Extending that lead. Olsen makes the tackle.
This is pain.
13-yard gain, and it'll be a first and goal. It's first and goal at the 7-yard line.
Couldn't be me, Brony. Couldn't be me.
The home team come out in
God,
a
that-
4-3.
I was right
He hits the hole and
I was right there, and he
on
just
his way
spun
to
around me.
6
Fuck, I
points.
just, how did I fucking... Oh god, this game's over. Yeah. Yep. We jumped the fences. We can get some rupees back. All right. So first things first. All right, and we're back. Ezra would probably be the first thing I craft if I want to upgrade Breya just a little bit further. The life gain is just so good. The life gain and the inevitability from that plus. Like, yeah, damn. As soon as you make it so that way all your artifact mana is there, there's just nothing you can do about that. Also, speaking of decks that we're going to have an incredibly hard time against, Elish Norn, Mother of Machines, turns off our ETP effects while doubling hers. Guess what we're based around? We are based around nothing but ETP effects, so this is going to be incredibly rough. Emery doesn't do a whole lot except for recycling stuff. What's our alternative plan? Probably just to, like, stack enough artifacts so that way Breya can, like, get rid of Norn for a turn. If that's the case, this isn't the worst hand, but we can do a lot better, I think. Thousand Moon Smithy, that helps. That's a good one. That is a great one for us to hold on to. Play the artifact land, because the fetch lands always represent untapped lands. And we're going to need all the untapped lands we can get. Yeah, so let's go ahead and grab white with this. And I am going to go ahead and hurry and grab the basic lands too. Because again, we are in a position where we just cannot, I repeat, cannot let Winter Moon beat us. Alright, we're gonna grab black. And then I'm gonna put out a cow. Even though I don't want her to get Banishing Light here, if we do get to untap with a cow, we do get to start drawing cards. Let's see, Sign Master, Relic of Legends. Sign Master is actually going to be really important because he's a cast trigger. So I do want to protect him over a cow. Yep, there's Touch the Spirit Realm. Exiles a cow. There's Goblin Engineer, which is really good, but first... Sigh. Now they play Elish Norn, and it's really hard for us to fight through. Notably, Living Weapon is not going to work. Yep, there's Elish Norn. Alright, there's Bridge. Here's Relic of Legends. Get a Thopter. Go ahead, boots up Psy, so that way he can't be getting rid of. We'll get the extra Thopters, and then... yeah. So, Nettle Cess doesn't do quite what we want it to do. Goblin Engineer is just straight up shut off. Unless we can, like, naturally mill our graveyard. But we need to get the Thousand Moon Smithy going. Notably, we don't get the gnome off a Thousand Moon Smithy, but we do get to... I'm just going to take this, because we need artifacts for Thousand Moon Smithy to work next turn. Thalia's Lancers! That lets him grab 2 Planeswalkers? Or, like, a Thalia... oh, God. Nope. Never mind. It's just actual factual Grand Cenobite. That means all of our Thopters are just DOA. And Chamil. Okay, how are we gonna get through this? This exiles target creature in a mana value 3 or less. That does not help. Yeah, I think we're just straight up dead. Like, I can get rid of the Thalia's Lancers, but without a stream of tokens, we just have nothing. We have stone cold nothing. Getting the Thousand Moon Smithy might work. Need 5, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. By that point, we're just beaten down, so I'm gonna call that game. We can't beat Grand Cenobite and Mother Machines. Like, we had an out, and then Lancers, they managed to tutor up their exact bullet. The exact silver bullet that kills our deck. It is what it is. Because with Mother of Machines out, that turns off all of our ETB removal. With Cenobite out, we can't actually try and build up a supply of Thopters to get around Mother of Machines. Ingenious Smith, Emery, Clock, Psy. This should work. We're up against Roxanne, and Roxanne is on the play, so this is going to be really difficult for us. Just because they're going to be able to shoot anything that's small. Psy is big, though. Emery... We'll have to be careful with Emery. She can shoot our Thopters, but as soon as we get the synthesizer going, Roxanne can't shoot those. Let's see. So we can go turn 1, Bridge. Turn 2, turn Scaldy Turn into a Hallowed Fountain, play the Smith. Smith grabs us an artifact. Ideally, I would like to play Psy so we can start making more Thopters, but ramping out with Midnight Clock is probably what we do, which also makes the Ingenious Smith bigger. If Emery dies, we're fine if we can find Agatha's Soul Cauldron. Let's see. Notably, the artifact lands also make Ingenious Smith grow bigger. Yeah, the opponent's really deep in the tank. Or they might just be having connection issues. Yep, turn 1, turn 2. Turn 3, we can go Darksteel Citadel, which grows the Smith. And then that's not a bad opportunity for us to go ahead and play Psy. Since then we can go Midnight Clock into play Emery. Emery's already going to cast 1 mana from all the artifact land. Yep, we'll keep the 7. Alright, the opponent's going to be playing their deck normally, so I'm not entirely sure why they took so long with their turn, but whatever. Scrap Trawler. Whenever another artifact you control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, return to your hand target artifact card in your graveyard with lesser mana value. Also, like, they had a Snap Utopia Sprawl. Ah, yep, there's Gallic Readers. Nothing else. Right? So 1, 2, 3, 4 on the next turn. Yep. Assimilation Aegis is pretty great. Four mana, so they're guaranteed Roxanne next turn as long as they have the extra land. Asika's Chariot? Create 2 cats. Whenever Asika's Chariot attack, create a token that's a copy of target token you control. That would be one way. To get 4 damage out. Because now, basically what that lets them do, right, is they can go ahead, crew Asika's Chariot with both of their cats, make another Meteorite token. That is really good. Let's see, it's whenever it attacks, though, so... we don't have any way to, like, really capitalize on this. Unfortunately, I think the Asika's Chariot actually make this just way too good for us. We can play the Rafine's Tower. We can play Familiar, but that doesn't do a whole lot. I think we have to accept that we're just gonna get board wiped right now. Like, they play Like, Galagrease is already getting big. They play Roxanne. Make a Meteorite. The cats pull the Chariot. We don't have any response for cats. I just does not get us there. If we play Psy, then it all just goes to Psy and then Psy dies. Yep. I guess play the Midnight Clock since we need more mana for next turn. We can play Emery. And the minimum is that directs a lot of damage away from us. I guess we go ahead, we play her out. So that way the damage doesn't go to our face. And then also Scrap Trawler has targets. Ooh. Glass Casket, Synthesizer. That's exactly what we want. So if we can get to a point where Trawler gets back our Synthesizer, that's good. Yep. Greeter gets bigger. There's a Meteor. Shoots Emery. Yep. There's Treasure. Proofs Emery with Roxanne. Makes a copy of the Meteor. Shoots the Smith. This is where having a sweeper would help a lot in terms of with us stabilizing. Because if we can, like, just play Farewell, River's Rebuke, even just, like, Wrath of God or anything like that, that helps a lot. As it is right now, no. That was too explosive of a start for us to keep up. And part of what I am doing today is I'm keeping an eye out for cards that we can swap out for those sweepers. Ideally, I like playing with 3 sweepers. Maybe the Scrap Trawler get pulled out because so many of our cards are 3. The only cards that get cards back, the 3s go to graveyard. They get back the 2s. All right, this is Queen Elena of Radach. This is a token deck. It can be a very fast and aggressive and scary token deck. If we can get Psy down, we're good to go. We've got Orb here. We're on the play. Being on the play helps so much. Now we get 2 shots at a redraw. Let's see, there's a Watery Grave. That's pretty great. Go ahead, Wellspring, take the redraw. We'll go ahead, we'll shock in, we can play Psy. And then we'll get to make a lot of tokens off of the Intangible Virtue. That is bold, my friend. Like, it's a good card, but it's a bold choice. Psy can also sack 2 artifacts to draw us a card, so he can cash in on the Wellspring. Let's see. We do go ahead. Always play the Glass Casket here just to set him back a turn. Drawing green-white. I can cast the Spell Bomb, or I can cast the Drought. I kind of like casting the Spell Bomb here since we can go ahead and hold up our Misty Rainforest to crack it later. And if we don't, we're not really in danger of a Winter Moon being in this deck. We can go ahead and grab one of our Tri-Lands. Yep, okay, so they're going to go ahead and get lost. Go ahead and just grab basic Island. And then I don't know, Get Lost is actually like really good. You know what? I'll let him kill Psy because we get the additional tokens now. Call the Arena is also really. So then go ahead, play the draw. Get a redraw, that gives us our land. We play Call the Ring. I'm gonna hold off on playing my Marine or my Palantir until I kind of have an idea that they're not just sandbagging for Farewell. Like, and we can play Breya next turn anyway. Rosie Cotton. Okay, that's... You're not allowed to have that card. Go ahead and turn that into a Mardu Lane. Whenever you create a token, put a 1/1 counter on target creature other than Rosie. Now we can start getting some extra draw power. Let's see. Go ahead, bop him for 2. Go ahead, play Breya. Sack. And we'll just go ahead and sack 2 of these. Actually, hold on. Sack the Drought and the Wellspring, and that's going to help us reload our hand. Yeah, Rosie can do some disgusting things. And again, just no reason to, like, overplay my hand. Yep, that's Felidar Retreat. Felidar Retreat's pretty good. Probably make a cat, right? Yeah, they're gonna go ahead and make a kitty. We'll sack the tokens here. We can sack the glass casket, actually. Yeah, we'll sack the casket, get rid of Provisioner. Sack the casket and also 1 map token. Create a 1/1 green plant token to draw cards equal to the number of differently named creature tokens you control. Okay, that's cute. Let's see. Karn's pretty good to put on. You can also just, like, start looting here. Ooh, an extra Karn. And a Thought Monitor. That's really tempting. Yeah, honestly? Let's go ahead and take our draw. We get to just play all the lands now. Go to combat, swing with all the tokens. We get to loot, Surgical Metamorph, Karn, the Ring. We are just... If they're gonna wipe the floor, there's not a whole lot we need to do here. Trying to think. We want to get rid of, like, our... I think we don't need... Let's see, we can go ahead and drop Paleotar Orb. And then... maybe this card. Oh, wait, no, we can just drop Orb. I was overthinking that. Okay, so go ahead, play that. Go ahead. Get rid of... 2 artifacts. That's out. And they're done. Alright. GG's, Queen Elena. GG's. Okay. See, it all worked out. Don't need to play the 1 ring. Don't need to, like, get really, really greedy. Let the call of the ring get us in there. And eventually we can just start sacrificing extra tokens, extra artifacts too, to just gain the life. Alright, that gives us gold. I'm surprised that the deck is working as well as it is. Like, after struggling for, I think, 2 weeks straight, trying to get the deck working, doing the essay on my brewing grievances, and then revisiting and being like, okay, let's go back to basics. Let's just put in the things that we strictly need to make this exact game plan work. That's really good. That helps a lot. In terms of board wipes, I think we stick primarily to the 4-mana ones. Wrath of God is probably one of the better ones. You've also got Extinction Event. Languish is real good. I don't think Dam's on Arena. Oh, Nelly! Tiny Bones the Pickpocket. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you can cast target non-land permanent from that player's graveyard, and mana of any type can be spent to cast that spell. I was gonna say that it makes holding on to the Brass's tunnel grinder a little sketchy. But it does mean that Brass's tunnel grinder, if we can get it on the field, becomes really good. It comes in, we can discard any number of cards, and then draw that many +1. Beginning of the end step, if we descend this turn, put a board counter on it. Then if there are 3 or more board counters on it, remove those counters and transform it. So, at the bare minimum, it's going to be 3 turns consistently. It means that we probably hold on to our fetch lands for as late as possible. We've also got Saheeli that we can get down. We got the Thopterist. This card's just a little bit harder to set up than I originally thought, but it's still really good. If we get it on the board, that's kind of the important thing. Since every time that we cast off of it, we get to discover, which means that we can catch up to any sort of 8-rack business that Tiny Bones is up to. The downside being that Tiny Bones can actually just start casting stuff from our graveyard. Oh, that reminds me. How am I doing on, like, store stuff? Because I already got the Mythic Rewards, the packs, and the draft token. Currently at 321. Do I want sleeves? I guess I could consider getting sleeves. I definitely don't want any of these special arts or anything. Avatars are also pretty nice, I guess. Yeah, I guess like the emerald sleeves are nice. The profile pictures are nice too, but none of them are of Kalia, so
The monkey is an endless web of life. My job is to snip.
I'm still thinking about the gear raid deck that we did last week, and he's basically like a slightly stronger doubling effect, like an Anointed Procession or anything like that. And you kind of have to think of him like that. But what I want to do is actual prolonged token production, and that only really works if you have access to populate. All right, here we go. No green versus all green. Mono green, in fact. Old Gnawbone. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, create that many treasure tokens. We're going to hold on to this because if we can do this right, we've got Gold Forged Thopterix into Oswald Fiddlebender. Pelt Collector is really good. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and play Fiddlebender first. Yep. And we're going to get punched in the face so hard. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and grab... Oh, goddamn. We don't have the cards to really make this work right now. Ronus is here. They're going all in on the mana production. Ooh, white. That helps. That helps somewhat. So, the plan was to go Gold Forged into... using Fiddlebender. We can't do that just yet, though. I have to go ahead, cast the Aegis to tap down Ronus. Next turn, we can go Catacombs, grab a black-blue source. I think we have to. Yeah, we need a... This is going to grab a black source. Oh, no, and it's a Haywire Mite. That's bad. That's really bad for us. Alright. Guess rather than Simulacrum, we're grabbing yet another answer for Ronus. While this Pelt Collector tries and, like, beat our face in. That's Pack Leader, too. We are in dire straits right now. Alright, so black-blue. Okay, this is a 3-mana play. And one I really don't like, because we're still just getting punched the hell out. Let's see. Can't attack or block unless you control another creature power 4 or greater. Pay 3, gets trample, and is indestructible. Pay 4, base power toughness becomes 5/3, so then this also gets to attack. Has trample as long as it has 3 or more counters on it. Alright, how do we get out of this? Because we are trying to, like, put out fire hoses right now. Annex Sentry helps. I've also got the Reflection Net. At least they had the pump mana into Ronus. And the 1/4 can be a blocker. It sucks that they have a fight spell. Yep, okay, now Ronus can attack too. And, that's 10 damage. I just can't afford to take that. But at least this resets the Pelt Collector. Stops him for a turn. Skrelv, you are not what I want right now, buddy. Oh, do we have any 2-drop artifacts that help? We have a Tithe. I don't think we... I think Palantir of Ornithok comes down. We can sacrifice that. Turn that into the gnomes. That makes another blocker. I'm trying to think. Play 3. Play Orb. We just need to, like, get rid of the pack leader, right? Right. That's what we need to do. Do we have anything else at 4 that helps us? We have copy effects. We can't use the One Ring. The One Ring doesn't help us here. Back Skrelv, grab Glass Casket, Agatha's. Go for a redraw, I guess. Actually, Glass Casket might be the play here. And then Chrome Lantern? Ronus can just, like, pay 3 mana, give a creature 2/0. He has to do that twice. I think that's game. And that's what he sees, then that's what he's... No! Oh, wait, never mind. Yep, and that makes 7 treasures. We're hanging in there. Let's see. Gives trample. What do we even do right now? I can sacrifice the Glass Casket. Turn that into 3/3. Turn that into something. Turn that into a simulacrum synthesizer. Breya. Ronus just gives everything trample. I can only do it once. Versus them having plenty of mana. Yeah, no, we got run over here. Once again, sweeper. We gave it a hell of a shot. Alright, so let's do some midstream evaluation here. So, what are the cards that we want? We know for sure that what we're looking for are going to be sweepers. Just to help us out in our role as a control player. Not having, like, interaction in terms of, like, counter spells, in terms of, like, counter magic, but just something that if we're up against both an aggressive deck and a really big ramp deck, can give us a chance to stabilize. So like Day of Judgment's a good one. You could even go like Sunfall to get around all the indestructible creatures. Dusk, unfortunately, does not help us out with that. We are looking for Wrath of God, Day of Judgment, Black variants as well. This does have the downside of you have to remember to hold on to your double pips. Victimize doesn't quite work. Path of Peril might actually be one of the better ones. It does wipe out a bunch of mana dorks if they decide to go wide. It also has the flexibility of being cast for only 1 pip each, but being 6 mana is a lot to ask. Extinction Event is probably one of the better ones because it only has the 1 pip. It only wipes out half the board, but more often than not, it's going to be just enough. In that scenario, if we can get rid of all the 3-drops, all the odd drops, for example, that gets rid of both their Pelt Collector, gets rid of their Goose, gets rid of their God. Blood on the Snow would be a good reason to switch all of our lands over to Snowlands, but I don't really count on that. There's Witch of Vengeance if you just really hate typal effects. Drag to the Bottom is basically Languish with potential upside. Like, this could potentially be a 4-mana deals, melts everything for 5. That's really strong. Because we have the higher domain cards. It does mean that we have to... It does punish us early on, though, if what we have is primarily artifact lands. What else do we have here? Anger of the Gods is a good one. In terms of like really small sweepers, I like Deafening Clarion. What was that? Anger of the Gods? Yeah, that was Anger of the Gods. Brotherhood End is another really good one. We want to find the wraths that make us as asymmetrical as possible. There's the aforementioned Deafening Clarion, which I like a lot. Destroy all non-land permanents your opponent's control. This is like the epitome of mid-range. 7 mana is a lot, even with all of our color fixing measures. So if I wanted to pick like just 3, right? Just 3 cards to help make this easier. Then I'm probably looking at Deafening Clarion, Wrath of God, Extinction Event. And then I'm probably pulling out, say, Scrap Trawler. Even though Scrap Trawler can be really good for getting back a lot of the artifacts that we want. You're just kind of in a position where you have to cut something. Really like all of our affinity cards. Our affinity cards are good. Although we do have to remember to crack our bauble before we attempt to play any of these for free. Karn Sign of Urza is a draw engine. I don't like that it gives the choice to the opponent, but there you go. We do have other potential draw engines, so maybe I cut that Karn. I'm much more likely to hold on to Living Legacy because he makes Power Stones, and also because the emblem is a win condition. Taking a look at our 4-cost artifacts. Yeah, we weren't going to have anything. Thousand Moonsmithy is the only one that I think is reasonable to go after. And unfortunately, at that point in time, it was just way too late. If I had thought about Thousand Moonsmithy faster, I could have pivoted into a plan where we go ahead, we play Fiddlebender, we play a 3-drop that we're okay with losing, go into Thousand Moonsmithy, and just keep playing artifacts so that way we can at least have a big blocker and stop taking so much chip damage from the Pelter. Relic of the Legends I still like. Greenleaf Drum has been helping. Soulguide Lantern is here just as general graveyard hate. Shadow Spear. Shadow Spear is like one of the big things that we want to hold on to. Notably, all the artifact lands that we have, Fiddlebender can grab. You can tutor out all of them. Goblin Engineer can also put any of our small lands into the graveyard. Helps us out a lot. What else do we want? I have not seen the Mer Converter, but the Mer Converter would help out a lot in our situations where we just need to catch up. Let's see. I've actually been very happy with the Ingenious Smith. I tossed her in as just kind of I need to make sure I have a 2-drop and I need something that has some synergy here. If you want to get really cheeky, you can swap out the Midnight Clock with Rusko. You can even try and find, like, just put a Rusko in there. And we don't want to, like, cut out any of the really important cards here. Both times that we've had Karn Living Legacy, Karn was really good. Even that loss to Tezzeret, without, you know, ignoring the fact that it was at a point in the game where we were struggling to even keep up with Tezzeret. Karn, once we had Karn on board, he would have kept spitting out power tokens, and we could have taken over the game with the emblem. Like, it got rid of the Jin Taxis, which is really big. Let's see, did we have, like, any better options for going into 3 besides just, like, the Annex Sentry? I don't think so. The clock doesn't stabilize us. The synthesizer stabilizes us like the turn after. Grinder potentially gets us a redraw, so I guess that's something. Rise Apprentice makes extra blockers. We can tutor up. Extra removal that way. No. Think maybe the Cloud Key. Not that time. We were actually just gonna die on the crack. Yeah, well, it is what it is. In terms of, I've seen anything I want to cut in the 2-drop range for sure. Hello, is this a commander fight? No, this is not a commander fight. This is Brawl. Brawl is a one-on-one format where you only have 25 life rather than 40. Alright, so I am definitely convinced that we go ahead and cut both Karn. And maybe that's enough. And we'll come back to think about adding Deafening Clarion later on. But overall, yeah, I'm pretty happy with the deck. So I am going to go ahead and make sure that the deck list on Moxfield, which you can see if you do ! Mox, is updated. The Eternal Wanderer, mono white control. This is going to be really dicey for us. We get a redraw with the Soul Guide Lantern. They're not really going to be doing a whole lot of reanimation. But we do have Ramp, we have Emery. So we have the means to start moving. Always lead off with the Triumph here rather than playing the Lantern, I think. Getting our basics is really good. So that's Cold Steel Heart. We're going to try and match him on the ramp. Ooh. Yeah, let's go ahead and... we need to keep up. We can even play like Breya like ASAP. Play Breya ASAP. She might eat a Sword to Plow. She might eat a Path to Exile. More likely than not, she's probably just going to hit like an artifact or an enchantment. So, let's see. Ideally, I would like to be able to play Breya on 6 mana instead. What I can do is I can go ahead, play Bridge, play Emery, play Soul Guide Lantern, and then just start getting more cards on board. The issue with an Eternal Wanderer deck, though, is that they are going to be Wrath deck. Gideon of the Trials. Woof.
If it's a fight you want, then a fight you
Alright, they have, as long as they control a Gideon Planeswalker, they can't lose and we can't win. Well, that's a thing. Till your next turn, prevent all damage target permanent would deal. Also 0 until end of turn. He becomes a 4/4 human soldier with indestructible. That's still Planeswalker. Prevent all damage to be dealt to him this turn. Now we're in a pickle. We can play Breya, make a couple of Thopters, but then they Wrath of God, punch us in the face, and call us gay. What would be more productive than that? We can play the Familiar, we can play Emery. I think if I play Breya this turn and that gets out the Wrath, I'm really happy with that. Well, maybe I'm not happy, but like, I'm not as miserable. I would, and for the turn, this Soul Guide Lantern. Okay, so they can Wrath now, and we're sad about that. But then we can go ahead and play Familiar. We can play Emery. Pray to God they don't have another Wrath. And if they don't have a Wrath, well, they're just gonna play the Eternal Wanderer anyway and Wrath us again anyway. It's rough. Having a Haste Enabler would be great. Okay, so they don't have it. Each player chooses an artifact, a creature, an enchantment, and a planeswalker from a non-land purpose and sacrifices the rest. Ow. Well... that is obscenely good right now. I think that actually just wins them the game outright. Alright, choose a creature. Oh wait, it doesn't say that. Right, okay. Alright, choose a creature. Artifact, enchantment, and a planeswalker. Keep the artifact, keep the creature. We don't have an enchantment or a planeswalker. That's... yep, now Breya can't deal damage.
It's just you and me.
Target would deal. Notably, we had the extra. We could shoot Gideon. But no, the effect actually keeps us from shooting Gideon. That is not ideal. If we play Emery... get to use Emery. We don't hit any artifacts off that, but we do hit... oh wait, no, we hit Cranium. I don't want to drop the Familiar because then they just play Eternal Wanderer. At least this way I can... hold up Breya. Sacrifice... Breya and a Cold Steel Heart. If they don't have the land, that is amazing for us. But I'm gonna try and wait until after Wanderer hits before I drop this Familiar. Pass. No blocks. Pass. Okay. Prevent all damage. You know what? 3. Sacrifice Breya, sacrifice the Cold Steel Heart. Declined. I'm gonna take a risk.
Try getting through me.
If they have a way to remove Emery right now, then that wins them the game. Nope, it's Elspeth. Alright, let's go ahead and get our commander back. The downside is that now they can just, like, call us gay. How do we play around the fact that they play Wanderer next turn, leave us like a single Thopter, and then that's it? I don't think we can. I think if they hit the land that they're looking for, play Wanderer, leave us with a single Thopter. Then we're in a position where all we can do is replay Breya, get more Thopter. We're gonna have to, like, set an upkeep stop, otherwise. So if they have the land, that is what we'll do. That is our out. Scalding Tarn. Fine. Alright, it's Thousand Moon Smithy. That is a very good card. Very scary card. That is not a land. That's a land. They can play Wanderer next turn. I would say -2 the Elspeth, probably? Nope, okay.
Let's do this.
I still think you -2 the Elspeth. So that way... your Gearhulk flies. Unless you want to try and get that Thousand Moon Smithy going, because that's probably a good one, too. No. We need these Thopters to block. Okay. Let's go ahead. Got all the mana we need. Emery here can help us out too. We've got Mox Amber. Got Cold Steel Heart. Cranial Ram. Cranial Ram doesn't do a lot for us right now. Mostly what it does is it gives us a really potent blocker. Elspeth being a 3 is also really big. If we just need like a lot of lands. Need a lot of artifacts. And Mox Amber probably just the best thing for us to get. Alright, so here's a Scalding Tarn. Here is Aether Spellbomb. Set an upkeep there. Go ahead, play the Familiar. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 artifacts that we can sack. And we could potentially keep them off of the moon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if they do that. Yeah. Oh, we also just like Spellbomb to get rid of that. Also to get rid of that. Actually, hold on. We can just Spellbomb right now. Get rid of that flyer. Deal some damage to that Elspeth. Let's do that. Alright. Go to combat. Hit Elspeth. Pass the turn. Upkeep. Tap for white. 3 damage. 2 Gideon. Sacrifice 2 artifacts. Sacrifice both the Thopters.
Next time, I'll be ready.
Okay. And then pass the turn. They can tick Elspeth up. I don't care. They can't get the moon down. They can play the Wandering Emperor. If they do that, and then activate her -4 Wrath, we sacrifice Breya and the Familiar. That way Emery stays out. We're gonna grab a Mountain with a Tarn. Alright. That's 8 damage. I might need to take this. Right. Yeah, I think I'd take this. It's scary as hell, but Life's a resource. We know they have one land out. Also, Breya can still shoot the Eternal Wanderer. So, like, Breya works really, really nicely right now. Alright. Now, they could just blink the Gearhulk. Alright, they're doing the thing. We're gonna go ahead, grab our mountain. We're gonna go ahead. And then... doing the neg 4 doesn't do anything. We are gonna go ahead and shoot Elspeth. Decline.
My blade has no equal.
Alright. Now we are okie dokie smoky. Go ahead. Get Breya out. Recast Breya. Now, let's see. They currently have 5, 6. They need another to make it work. The Gearhulk is a problem. Like, what? They would make it either a token or they would exile. What does that actually do for us? Like, okay. If they hit the land, we know they have another land. So this would just, like, give them 2... oh, no, that actually gives them, like, 2 activations, so we have to do this. Boom, boom.
Hold on any longer.
Yeah, we need to shoot the Wandering Emperor so they just don't get another activation. Alright. The Gearhulk attacks. The Gearhulk puts us down to 4. We can block with Breya, sack Breya. The Eternal Wanderer blinks out Emery. You leave out Breya, we at least represent something that can attack back. Kind of. More importantly, we can just keep recasting some stuff. Cycling the Spell Bomb might be our best option here. Ooh, Dusk Rose Reliquary. That's pretty good. Let's see. Go ahead, play that. Get back the Familiar, make them discard a card. Also got this Spell Bomb. Yep, go ahead. Play the Familiar. Now they have to discard a card. They get rid of their land. Go ahead, sacrifice Familiar. Breya heads out. Cataclysmic Hulk goes away. Ephemerate! Ephemerate? Ephemerate, hold on. 4, 5, 6. We can recast Breya this turn if we need to. But I think instead we white, blue, sacrifice Mox Amber and Breya. And this time I am going to put my commander in the command zone. Because then Wandering Emperor comes down, Wandering Emperor blinks out Emery.
ends today.
This is really spooky. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh no, she's gonna blink out the token. That's a bold move, Cotton. This even pays off for her. Okay. Let's see. This can go ahead and get rid of the Thousand Moon Smithy, but then the Eternal Wanderer just starts blinking it again. This is what we call an awkward situation, at the bare minimum. Oof. That ephemerate though. We can blink out the token at least. But is that like actually gonna do anything? Let's go ahead and all right. Now the Eternal Wanderer can negative leave us with a little Thopter. Yep.
You live because I allow
I think I punted. I think it was a mistake to go ahead and just and try and like commit so much to get rid of the Gear Hulk. That was not worth it. Yeah, we lost our ability to keep up. That is unfortunate. That was exactly the kind of thing we were trying to... Oh no! And now they have the engine together. Yep, we have to block here. What is this? And creatures. Okay. Yep. Thopteryx helps a little bit. I guess we're not out of this just yet. But life is pretty bad. Like, we needed to like just avoid having Emery wiped away at all costs. Ather's Crusade. Takes a token. Everything's bigger.
Open the edge of your blade.
Oh, we can't block there. And that's just 2 to our face. We're at 3, and that's gonna be GG's. If we can go ahead, we can get the Eternal Wanderer out. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and with Devotion, yep. That misplay cost us. Because we were gonna have to like wipe everything away anyway. So at that point, all like the ephemerate on the Cataclysm doesn't actually do anything. Now that I think about it, because what we pick things that we want to hold on to, we sacrifice the rest, and then the ephemerate goes off again next turn. That's it. Oh well. That is once again a situation where I would be really excited to have a Tezzeret in the deck, because top deck Tezzeret, being able to plus, giving us the life buffer, being a distraction. It is what it is. Alright, so like one more, and then we'll do a review of the deck before we close things out. Go over plans for later this week. Alright, so we're against Kellen, Inquisitive Prodigy. Investigate, you can play an additional land this turn. Whenever attacks, destroy up to 1 target artifact. If you control that per minute, draw a card. This card is going to be the bane of my existence, so... Emery is really, really good here. Let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and play this bobble. Because the sooner we can get Emery down, the better. We're gonna need Thopter out. They can't destroy Thopter right away, at least. Chromatic Lantern also helps. Goblin Engineer is really, really good. Next time we could go Lantern into Emery. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead, drop our synthesizer. Lantern, Bobble, off to the races. We don't get to do it next turn, though. Hey, how about that? It's 4 mana, so we don't actually get to Glass Casket here. Unfortunately. How do we feel about that? The Goblin Engineer, we can do that at instant speed. So the Vexing Bobble is actually really safe. The Lantern, we want to hold on to. Boundary Inspector also works out. We can play the Shrine. You can play Ornithopter, hold up red. And then we'll just sack whatever for whatever. What is this? Exile target creature. Yeah. Go ahead, play the Thopter. Pass the turn. And then we'll try and drop Emery next turn. Okay, that's Beanstalk. Dropping the Lantern with the synthesizer out is really good. At this point... Oh no, they're just gonna go all in. Okay, yep, they have succeeded in ramping out really good. We're gonna see some really big stuff next turn. Alright, so they are gonna go ahead, target the Ornithopter. That's fine. Now we can go ahead, dig for extra land. Ooh, Extinction Event. Okay, let's do a quick think. We're gonna want Extinction Event because they're gonna try ramp out really hard next turn. If we grab the fetched land first. Alright, so always drop the fetched land. If we drop this, the lantern becomes 2. So go ahead, drop the lantern. This means that we can actually use our Wooded Foothills to tap for actual mana, which is pretty great. I'm gonna go ahead and use this to grab. Oh fuck! There goes my. I forgot about the Wrath. Fuck. I am Lagoober. Yep, I goobered it. I goobered it. Karn's Temporal Sundering, so they get 2 extra turns. Well... let's think about this for a second. You can sacrifice the lantern, get back the Thopter. That's basically the same thing, though. Alright, we've got Emery. Alright, Helen attacks, destroys the lantern. I'm just gonna let that get destroyed. That's a very, very, very strong turn from the opponent. But we still have Engineer. We still have Emery. We don't have... Alright. Gargaroth is still there. Merconverter's still here. We're still okay. I think. It's obnoxious, though. Alright, let's go ahead and grab... Well, we need to grab something blue. This is not ideal. Let's see, we have to drop Emery no matter what. We have to drop Mer Converter. Mer Converter's dicey. Goblin Engineer isn't bad. And it does let us grab removal. Let's grab Simulation Aegis. And then for everything else, there's MasterCard. Never mind, that's game. Unfortunately, for us, the time warp broke us. The time warp set us back so hard. Getting double naturalized off Kellen against this deck was already going to be really hard. I mistook the glass casket for something that could actually deal with him. Maybe I should have even considered, like, instead of grabbing the synthesizer, grabbing it in Assimilation Aegis to slow Kellen down. But then, well, they wouldn't have been able to Karns. They ramped up. They ramped up and we got got. It happens. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the deck for some closing thoughts today. Alright, so after sitting with the deck for a bit, how do we feel? Honestly, I am actually surprisingly... Wait, no. I'm pleasantly surprised with how well the deck did today. We did get to see one of the higher tier decks, like the Tamio, but the Tamio player wasn't actually... I don't think they were really optimizing their plays in the way that they needed to. We were able to take advantage of that, and we got there. The Kellen deck at the end there was really unfortunate. The big ramp decks are, unfortunately, just one of the things that we still have to kind of tune the deck for if we want to be able to compete with those types of decks. I think that cards like the Hulky Metamorph and all the Affinity cards are pretty good. But having played with the deck around with the deck enough, I can say that, with the very least, the Mer Enforcer, the Hellkite, the Frogmire Mer, and possibly even the Refurbished Familiar, these cards are probably the most replaceable. They're not really cards that you want to play without the synthesizer out, because having a 4/4 is just not... A vanilla 4/4 is not necessarily brawl power level. Having a free 4/4 can make a difference, and if you need to shift into a beatdown, I think that's probably about right. But generally speaking, these are the cards I'm going to be probably looking to cut out. The Familiar, at least, you can start looping to do some hand attack stuff, and it's an evasive 2/1 flyer versus the Enforcer or the Hellkite, where the upside of playing these cards is really more in the 60 card realm territory. For example, if you wanted to play a Legacy Synthesizer, then these cards are really good because you can play them in multiples. You can play 4 of the Frogmire Enforcer, you can play Frog Mites, and because you see those extra copies, they have more opportunities to make an impact. So I'm probably looking at, I would say, cut these 4, maybe put in just a tad more interaction or a tad more insulation. If you have the Tezzeret cards are all really, really good and would bolster this deck really well. That's weird. What is the... Oh, it's I'm typing Tezzeret and it's Tezzeret. Just about all the Tezzerets would be really good for this. Betrayer of the Flesh. The first activated ability of an artifact you cast each turn costs 2 less to cast. That basically makes Breya's ability free, which, as you saw, we were getting into situations where the lack of mana was actually hampering us just a bit. Also, this also has a draw engine. Also turns artifacts into artifact creatures, so if you make any of those small tokens, you can turn them into 4/4. The ultimate is game-breaking, just like Karn is, and is probably a stronger Planeswalker inclusion than Karn. Artifice Master, also really strong. Literally just draws you 2 cards every turn because we're almost always going to be at Metalcraft. Pro Mechanist is the start deck version. You could do a lot worse, but I would not spend your wild cards here. Schemer, making Etherium cells each turn that help you cast stuff is nice. Being removal helps out. Master of the Bridge is definitely the better though, because it gives all of your creature and planeswalker spells affinity for artifacts. Makes all of your creatures' ability to cast. Really helps cut down on Breya's command attacks if she's been removed a few times. So Master of Bridge would be my pick. If I had to pick just 3, it would be Master of Bridge, Artifice Master, Betrayer of Flesh, and then probably cut out Living Legacy, because if you're playing with all these Tezzerets, they're providing a lot more utility than Karn, even though Karn's ultimate is really good. As you can see, though, I only have the 2 mythic wild cards, so unfortunately not today. You could also make the case for potentially putting in a little bit more interaction with these extra slots. You could be looking at Thoughtseize. You could be looking at a Wash Away. I feel like if you have just 1 counterspell in this deck, that is infinitely better, because then you know that you need to hold up that counterspell for what is very specifically going to be a huge tempo loss or a tempo gain. So, for example, if that player goes and casts Karn Sundering, being able to go negate on that, so they don't just get to double naturalize and completely set us back. Because remember, they didn't just destroy 2 of our artifacts. They also bounced Goblin Engineer. They also bounced Emery. And that hurt way, way too much for us to keep up on. Honestly, though, go with like 3 Tezzerets. Put in 2 more Rafts, so that way you can just focus on playing out your non-creature artifacts. And then afterwards, you can, if they go ahead, they load up the board, you can just go ahead and wipe. If they're in a control role, then the sweepers aren't going to be as relevant, but you can always drop those cards for later. There's my Nico Knee alarm. You could even consider swapping out one of the 3-mana artifact rocks. For example, maybe it's Midnight Clock. Maybe you swap out Midnight Clock for the Celestis, so that way you can dig deeper. You could potentially put in a Sholdred. If you're going to play the One Ring, you can very easily fit in a Sholdred into that role. Sholdred would do a really good job of helping stabilize with all the with just drawing, punishing the opposing draws. There's a few different ways that you can take this deck, but I'm feeling very confident about the core. So anyway, plans for this week. Remember that on Wednesday, we're going to be here at 1 p.m. Pacific time to play Final Fantasy with Sono Mikan. She is Lila's model mama? Yeah, I'll just call her model mama. She's Lila's model mama. It's really nice. We hang out a lot on Twitter. We pop in each other's chats every once in a while. It's going to be really nice to get to hang out with her and actually get to talk to her. Just do not mention anything by, Urobuchi. She does not like that man, at all, despite the fact that he's written some of my favorite stuff, so like we're going to try to avoid that. On Friday, we're going to be back with Heart Gold and Nuzlocke. And then next Monday, we're going to have our regular Season's End review. We're going to take a look at Untapped.gg. We're going to take a look at how a lot of the decks were performing this season, some of the ways that they struggled. I'm going to take a look at some of the impact cards that I really noticed and how I think the meta kind of shifted this season. And then you are free to agree or disagree with me as you see fit. Alright, so now that we've gone ahead and taken care of all of that, we will go ahead and pass everyone along. Right now, we oh who's around? There's like some nice big tubers out. You know what? I have not rated Miss Lala in a while, and like we are small, but everyone likes to stream, even a small one. And she's currently playing the BioShock. Sometimes she plays Magic. She doesn't like really play Brawl, and like completely understandable. But BioShock is really cool. I would love to play it. All right, and then we will see you next time. Same hero time, same hero channel. Good night, everyone.
I like put my